What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Derek Thomas. And with the rise of men men of the West getting their passports and traveling out and enjoying the world and seeing the world and going to different countries, a lot of these men are traveling to countries such as Colombia. Reason why I'm speaking of Colombia, because I live here in Medellin, Colombia, and it's important for you guys to stay safe. Today we're going to be doing a review. We're going to be doing a review on this page called Non-Bothered Clips. I'm assuming that his main page is Non-Bothered. He's going to be interviewing a very popular YouTuber of the name of Kurt Kaz on Kurt Kaz Scopamine Girls in Medellin, Colombia. And let's just dive right into the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, let's begin.
Somebody commented on Conquest in the forum about Medellin and Scopo girls. So I need you to firstly explain what a Scopo girl is and how likely is it that guys coming here are gonna get attacked by them, basically.
So first of all, Scopo is just short for scopolamine, which is a drug that you can find in this part of the world that grows naturally. I don't know if you've ever seen that white flower. You can see it sometimes, like if you're driving on the road, you can see it growing in trees. Kind of looks like a trumpet. Right. So it grows down, it's white. They call it devil's breath or devil's trumpet. And basically what happens is there are girls that actively go out and search for naive tourists and use this drug to rob them. So what they would do, it would often be two or more girls. They would prey on an unsuspecting foreigner. They'd go out for drinks with him and slide in some scopolamine into his drink. And oftentimes it happens when they're in a secluded place, so they can rob his phone or his wallet, or in his apartment where they just clean him out. Now, this happens a lot here in Medellin. It is famous for scopolamine, for people getting scopolamine. But I think that if you have common sense, you wouldn't allow 2 or 3 random chicks off Tinder into your apartment on the first date and just go out and start drinking with them, right?
So these guys assume that 3 random hot Latinas.
So we're going to stop right here. Kurt is absolutely right. And I like that he used words like naive tourist, and I like the fact that he used naive tourist. A lot of these guys out here that are getting drugged by these scopolamine girls, scopolamine girls, scope girls, let's call them scope girls for short, are just naive. They're not thinking with the head on their shoulders, but they're thinking with the head in their pants. They're thinking that, wow, I'm here in Colombia. My money goes further because they pay in US dollars, or it's converted into US dollars. So you're getting more pesos, and they figure, wow, I could come out here and have a good time. But you're out here looking like a target. You're out here looking at a target. And Colombia is full of beautiful women. Colombia is full of beautiful women. So a lot of these men, they see a beautiful girl walks up to them and like, hey, you want to have a fun time? And like I said, they're not thinking with the head on the shoulders. They're thinking with the head in their pants, and they end up getting set up. This scopolamine drug, I heard about it the moment I came to Colombia. In fact, before I came to Colombia, I did extensive research on the do's and the don'ts. And one of the don'ts was do not trust essentially anyone, because you look like a foreigner, especially the fact that if they know you're a foreigner, or either you have bad Spanish or you don't speak Spanish at all, you're just somebody that they can easily take advantage of. These girls, like he says, they slip the drug in your drink. And next thing you know it, you wake up on the street, or if you invite the women back to your apartment, you wake up into your apartment and everything's gone and your bank account is cleaned out. The research that I've looked up and the experience that I've heard of the Scop drug, that it's a hypnotizing drug. It's kind of like a zombie drug in a sense. It's kind of like they give you this drug and this girl is like, hey, I need some money. And you're like, okay, let me go to my bank, or let's find an ATM so I can clean out my life savings so I could give it to you. And that's how a lot of these naive tourists just get set up, get robbed, or get deleted. So, men, when traveling, you need to have common sense. You need to have common sense.
Want to come directly to their apartment.
That's correct. And
Of course, yeah. Of course that's going to happen, yeah.
yeah, so that's basically it. They think that these girls are coming over to bang, and they're not. They're just out there to prey on naive tourists.
Yeah.
And usually these girls are backed by gangs, so they are not just doing it on their own. They are a part of a very organized and intricate crime group. They have hackers behind them to hack the phones, to hack the laptops. They know how to get into the bank accounts. They are very tactical, so they will not just drug you and take your phone and run off, because then they'll get caught on security cameras. They are very, very tactical with what they do. They barely get caught. A lot of the times, I'm not going to say it because I live here, but there are people behind them.
And you have to remember that there are people. It's a whole system. It's a whole system. Criminal enterprise. This whole system. This girl, her job is to drug you, and after she gets her job done, maybe some guy comes in, and his job is to hack your phone to get into your phone, hack your computer to get into your computer to access all your money. It's a whole system. So it's not her that you're coming in contact with. You're coming in contact with her, the hacker, or even some officials that you may think that are in your favor, but they're part of the criminal enterprise too. So there's multiple stories. You can look up online. There's multiple stories of guys getting robbed, getting deleted out here in Medellin, Colombia, because of this drug. But hey, in my personal opinion, I put more blame on the tourist. And I know these girls shouldn't be drugging tourists. And I know these hackers shouldn't be hacking into people's phones and computers and bank accounts to access their money. But you're not thinking. You're coming to this country and you think that, oh, it's all safe. Colombia is a third world country. Colombia is a third world country. Everybody out here is trying to survive. Everybody out here is trying to get to the next dollar. And if you're out here meeting these women, and these women are approaching you, and most of the time when it happens, the women approach the men. In what world do women ever come up and approach men? It's usually men approaching women. So if this girl's walking up to you and she's like, "Hola, mi amor. ¿Qué haces, mi amor?" or any type of flirtatious way, that should be a red flag. That should be a red flag. And I'm not saying that there aren't women that go and approach men, but most of the time, men approach women. Men pursue women. Women don't necessarily pursue men, chase men. And if you're out here letting these women walk up to you, introduce themselves, and manipulating you, saying that, hey, let's go back to your place and have a fun time. I could go get some drinks and I can invite my girls. To the average Westerner, to the average American dude, he's like, that this is a hot chick. She wants to come back to my place. I'm gonna go get some action. But the action that you're gonna get is your bank account is gonna say 0. So stay safe, guys. Stay safe.
So I don't want to get in trouble because I live here, but there was certain people in power that are corrupt and help let these organized crime groups thrive in the city. So to answer your question, it's girls that go around drugging unsuspecting tourists with scopolamine, which grows naturally here in Medellin.
And it happens a lot.
It happens a lot. It happens
Right.
a lot to tourists. They don't do it to each other.
Let's look and see how the scopolamine plant looks. I believe I've seen it before. Let's hop on our trusted search engine, Google, because I believe I've seen it before. Scope. How do you spell that? Scopamine. Scopamine. Yep. I have seen this before. This is the photo right here. This grows like weeds out here in Medellin, Colombia. Let's share the new screen so you guys could see what the scopolamine drug looks like. And it's called the devil's breath. Here we go. Let's share that. There we go. This right here. This is the scopolamine drug. I'm not sure how they take this and manufacture it to where they can put it in your drink, but the scopolamine drug is known as devil's breath or the burandanga. The late Salva diva Celia Cruz sang about it. That's because scopolamine provides a potent weapon to Colombian criminals. The drug puts people into a zombie-like state in which they lose both their memory and free will and can be convinced to empty their bank accounts or hand over the keys to their apartments and cars. Wow. They go out to party, then wake up 2 or 3 days later on a park bench. Miss Maria Fernanda Veggiota, a nurse at St. Jose University Hospital in Bogota, which receives several scopolamine victims every week. That's insane. So that means that this is happening frequently out here in Colombia, and this plant, it grows freely. So there's unlimited access to it. There's unlimited access for criminals to get their hands on it. And it's like I said before, it's a zombie-like drug. It's a drug that turns you into a zombie, which I've never heard until I came to Colombia. But guys, you need to stay safe. You really do need to stay safe when you're dealing with people out here in Colombia. You just gotta enter into the country on don't trust anybody until they give you a reason to trust them. a hot chick with her melons out is not a reason to trust her. It's not. But hey, a lot of you guys are thinking with the head in your pants and not thinking with the head on your shoulders.
Because yeah, it's insane. Speaking of which, it has never happened to me. Why? And this is the thing that a lot of people have noticed in my videos, is that I am very, very conscious when it comes to sussing out people. So I'm very clued up on social cues. So I can pick up people's vibes and intentions very fast. So if I feel that a girl has got the wrong intentions, I'm out of there. I'm not going to be spending my time or inviting her back to my place. But a lot of naive tourists that think, oh, it's Colombia, girls are easy, they're not going to think that. They're just going to think, oh yeah, I'm getting 2 bitches tonight, and they're going to end up drugged. And then they wake up the next morning thinking, oh fuck, what the hell happened? Why do I know this much about it? I live here, and I've seen many stories about it.
So I haven't spent much time living in Colombia, to be honest. I would say I'm going on a good year and a half living out here in Colombia. And when I got here, that's the first thing that I was told, that, hey, when you're dealing with women or you're dealing with anybody, you need to stay safe. You need to stay safe, because they will go to extreme measures to make sure that they get what they want from you. I'm just like Kurt Cass. I don't know if it's because of my military background, but I'm very analytical. I watch my surroundings. I make sure that everything around me, nothing is not suspicious. Everything around me nothing doesn't look off. So, but a lot of these guys, like what Kurt said, a lot of these guys come to Colombia. Oh, girls are easy. It's freaking cheap out here. Wow, I'm gonna have a fun time. Yeah, the girls aren't easy. You're the easy one. You're the easy one to get your bank account cleaned out. You're the easy one to get drugged, because you get hypnotized. You get hypnotized by some hot chick. Their melons out, and then you get drugged. It's insane, and I honestly put a lot of the blame on tourists that come here to Colombia. I do. Man, we should be moving a lot smarter than that. It's 2024, and we're still being hypnotized by women's beauty. We're still being controlled by women's beauty, by beautiful women. But like I said before in other videos, a lot of these dudes are losers that come from the United States, that think that, all right, I'm gonna come to Colombia and I'm gonna be with a hot chick just to give them a boost, an ego boost, just to give them an ego boost. In my honest opinion, if you cannot get women in your own home country, you definitely can't get women out here. If you don't know how to interact or look out for suspicious behavior in your own home country, you're definitely a target out here. It's honest facts. I do not put no blame on these women that do this, even though it's wrong and they shouldn't be doing it. But if you're out here flaunting your money, going to Parquilleres, popular area in Poblado, and you're hey baby, hola papi, and you're just interacting with these women on the street, or pay for play, sex tourism, you're looking to get robbed. You're looking like a target. These women out here trying to eat. You're leaving your first world country to come to a third world country to have a fun time. and you just don't think. You're just not thinking. You're just not thinking. It's ridiculous, guys. We're better than that. As men, we should be better than that.
So the saying goes, if it feels too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that threesome with
No.
them two hot Latinas or foursome.
So I've seen a lot of these news articles. If you live in Medellin, you'll see it come up on Instagram, on Facebook. Guys just getting robbed, mugged, drugged, killed, even for their cell phone. And it's their own fault at the end of the day. You shouldn't be picking up hookers, and say you shouldn't be inviting random girls into your place for a threesome. You should scope them out. Literally scope them out before they scope you out.
Scopo girls.
Scope out the Scopo girls before they scope you out.
And that's and shout out to this
due to the competitive nature.
Shout out to this YouTuber right here. We're gonna subscribe to his channel because we did a review, but that's an honest fact. You need to be scoping out these women before they scope you out. Let me hop into a quick a quick background story. Let me hop into a quick background story. So came to Colombia, learning Spanish, learning about the culture, traveling around, met my wife, we were dating. I was so attentive on the messages of scopolamine that, and I told her this too. I was so attentive on the messages of scopolamine that when she came over to my apartment, I took her bag and I put it on top of the fridge. So give me your bag, put it on top of the fridge. And she was completely fine with it. She didn't give me no fuss, no argument with it. I was like, all right, cool. Her cell phone was in the bag too, as well too. I put my cell phone on top of the fridge next to her bag as well too, because because you know, she came over. We were gonna just talk, chat it up. I was gonna make her some lunch. We were gonna chill, watch something on Netflix. She actually used my restroom. She went into my restroom, and the moment she went into my restroom, I went through her bag. I took pictures of her ID, any information I can get, and I dropped it in my email. Reason of me doing that is because if anything happens to me, all her information is within my email. So if I get hurt, if she ends up scoping me, which she didn't, all the information's in my email, because when things happen to you and the police got to do an investigation, they got to pull up records on, all right, cool, let's go through his bank, let's go through his social media, let's go through his email. And if they go through my email and they say, wow, he has a picture of this woman's ID who's a Colombian citizen, let's do a little bit more investigation. You have to just think smarter. You just got to think one step ahead. Thank God that never happened. She's my wife, and yeah, I mean, I was 2 tiles ahead. I was 2 steps ahead. I was 2 steps ahead. I was already formulating this plan in my mind when it's like, all right, if she comes over, I'm gonna take her bag. I'm gonna put it on top of the fridge. I'm gonna put my phone on top of the fridge as well too. If she gives me a fuss on why are you taking my bag or why can't I have my phone, she is free to leave. I'm gonna say, hey, you gotta go. You gotta go. Because my safety is important. Her safety is important as well too. Hence me putting my phone on top of the fridge. And yeah. And everything went smooth. She got her bag, she got her phone, and she left. She left after when we watched some Netflix, had some lunch, she left. But to conclude all this, men, you need to stay safe when traveling. This is not only for Colombia. You need to stay safe when traveling. And this time, this is for Colombia, because you don't want to be one of those guys getting drugged, getting zombified, and getting your bank account cleaned out. Well, that was a great video. Shout out to Kurt Kaz, very popular YouTuber. Hoping to meet him somewhere in Medellin. Hopefully in the future on this channel we can get an interview with him, or we can appear in one of his videos. But just to finish it all up, stay safe, guys. Enjoy Colombia, enjoy Medellin safely, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.